Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing good. So in this video we are going to see this interesting sketch of a one point perspective kitchen interiors, and like I have shown in my previous two other videos, so we are going to have just 20% of sketching and 80% we are just going to use imported materials or downloaded images from Pinterest. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the first step is going to be to sketch our idea out. So as you can see, I have selected a square canvas, and using the technical pen I am just going to do a rough sketch. So before that, make sure that you have an idea of any interiors that you have in mind, and you just have to basically sketch it out very roughly. Don't mind about how your sketch is going to be. It's okay even if it is very freehand, wobbly. So you don't have to keep that in mind, because the next step is going to be to draw the guides according to perspective in a very precise manner. So first, make sure to put down your ideas onto paper. So I have started to draw the counter, the high table, and now I'm going to do the other upper shelves and other things. So you can see here. Also, this video is fast forwarded, so if you want to draw along with me, please make sure to go to the settings and adjust your playback speed. It's because I just wanted to keep the video according to a certain time. So if it is too large, not many people tend to watch it completely. So if it is fast forwarded, it's very easy for you guys to know the process. And for people who are watching this for the first time, please make sure to go to your settings and adjust the playback speed. Reduce the opacity of this first layer, and the next step is to set your perspective guide. So in a new layer, first go to the drawing guide assist option on, and we are going to set up a vanishing point, a single vanishing point, because it's going to be 1 point perspective, hence one vanishing point. So I'm just going to place it right here, and just make sure to on your drawing assist option. And next step is to outline the sketch according to the perspective. So since your drawing guide assist option is on, you don't have to worry about your lines going in a certain way, because it is set according to the perspective. So just go with the flow, just go with what the perspective tells you, and it's going to turn out to be perfect. So I'm just now adding in more details. As you can see, the depth of the counter, and also making sure that the other counters or cabinets are very proportionate to each other. Adding some depth to all these shelves, adding this sink right here, and another guide for the coffee machine. I've also added the suspended lights and the guides for the high stool. So here you can see that the outline is now ready. So now the next step is to color code our outlined sketch. So this step can be optional, but I strongly recommend you follow this step, because single line drawing might lead to a lot of confusions when you're applying the material. So it's always better to either use a technical pen or any pen of your choice, and just increase the thickness slightly a bit more, and color code each of your objects to a different color. So when you're applying the materials, you know what each object is indicating, and you can easily apply your materials. And anyways, this color coded layer, we are going to turn it off at the end, but I strongly recommend you guys to follow this step. So now our color coded guide is ready. Let's just reduce the opacity a little bit, and now it's time to import and apply the downloaded material. So as you can see here that I have downloaded a set of materials, and I have selected these materials from Pinterest because the mood board for Pinterest is really very aesthetical. So I recommend you to choose Pinterest over Google anytime, especially for interior designing. It is really very aesthetical. So I have just imported the image, and using the distort option I am adjusting all of these materials according to each of these objects, and using the freehand selection tool I'm selecting only the portion that I need, and the extra portion I'm just erasing it. So I am going to repeat the same process again. Use the distort option, just hold the corners of each of these materials and adjust it to the corners of these objects, and repeat the same process. And now I'm importing another image. So this is an image of an wooden slat texture, increasing the size a little bit. So I'm switching on the magnetic tool option, so when I duplicate this layer and move it, it moves in a straight line and it doesn't get displaced. I'm just overlapping one of the lines so it looks very seamless, and I'm again duplicating the same layer, and using the magnetic snap option I have moved it, and I'm just pinching all the 3 layers to make it into one layer, selecting it using a rectangle selection tool, invert and erase the rest. I have inserted another image using the distort option. I'm scaling it accordingly like this. So basically I'm going to repeat it again and again for all the objects. Just make sure to duplicate the material, move it, and using the distort option just adjust the materials accordingly, and your collage is ready. So I'm using the same material here again and again, so you basically have to duplicate the layer. So just have to go to the layer, swipe left and duplicate, and using the magnetic snapping option you can just place it without getting it distorted. You can switch on or switch off the magnetic snap option accordingly. Again, I have downloaded this marble texture for this counter right here. Either you can insert the materials 2 or 3 times, or you can duplicate the layer. It's up to you, whichever you feel is handy. So don't worry if this material is overflowing. What you can do is just select the portion that you don't want and erase it. So again here it's overflowing, so I'm just pinching all the 3 layers of this counter into one, so it's easy to edit at a time. Just selecting the portion that I don't want, and I'm erasing them. I have also downloaded this beautiful marble or granite texture for this shadowing right here. So after adjusting it, I'm going to the layer, duplicating it, and using the distort option I'm going to adjust the corners like this. There you go. Isn't it very easy, you guys? So I have downloaded this image of an oven, rectangle selection, invert and erase the portion that you don't want, place it over the object, distort option, and scale it or stretch it accordingly. And I'm going to do the same thing with this refrigerator as well. So now you can see the use of our color coded guide. It's a very strong guide and you know where exactly to place your objects correctly. So for this, just select the portion that you don't want using the freehand selection tool and erase. Here I have a huge background, so I'm just selected only the portion that I want, and I am using the distort option to stretch it according to the object. And for the flooring, I'm just stretching it like this using the distort option according to the perspective guide. And using the freehand selection tool, I'm selecting the portion that I don't want and I'm erasing it. So make sure to download each and every detail items. This is the tab for the sink. Just placing it and scaling it accordingly. So for this, you can easily select the automatic selection tool, which selects the portion of similar color. So the ones with the white background, you can select the automatic selection tool and erase off the background very easily. Select the extra and erase it. Duplicate, place, again select this extra portion using the freehand selection tool and erase it. There you go. And now we have this blank white spaces. So we are going to color fill these white spaces as well. Select the portion that you want, press on the color that you want to, so the color gets selected and you can easily color drop it. So I'm repeating the same process for literally all the other objects as well. Color drop it. And the same thing for the ceiling. I'm just selecting this counter portion, counter layer, and freehand selecting the sink and erasing that extra portion, and in a new layer color dropping it with a gray color. Also I selected this image of the suspended lights. You can select any light of your choice. Select the material, invert and erase the portion that you don't want, and using the distort option you can stretch this object, duplicate on the magnetic snap option and place it accordingly. So since this chair image has a white background, you can opt for automatic selection tool because it helps in selecting the portion which is of the similar color and erase the white portion. Place it within the guide, duplicate, and using the magnetic snap option you can move it, and the same process for the third chair as well. There you go. And now I'm going to pinch all three together, again selecting this portion from the whole image, invert and erase the portion that you don't want, and using the distort option Just adjust the corners like that, and in the same layer I'm going to freehand select this portion of the shelf, long press on the color that you want and color drop it. There you go. And now the next step is to outline this collage. So right now it looks like different images put together, but now let's outline it. Just reduce the size of the technical pen in a new layer. Just make sure to switch on your drawing assist option on and start to outline. You can first outline these main elements, say the kitchen counter, all the corner profiles. Just make sure that all your objects have been properly defined, because right now we are turned off the color guide option. So as you can see, hence we are outlining all the objects very carefully. I've just fast forwarded this process. Outlining the refrigerator, the cabinets, the walls. So now you can see that we have differentiated or separating one object from the other. Using these thin black lines. So don't worry about these lines intersecting with the other objects, you can easily erase them later. There you go. So you can switch off the drawing assist option and erase these lines that are intersecting the other objects. And now the next step is to apply the shadows. So this step is very important, you guys. You can alpha lock each of these layers, and after that you can just start to give these beautiful shadows using the flat brush pen and a black color. Don't put too much pressure on your hand, just slightly brush over the objects. So it's not important to just collage all of these images together, but what is more important is to give the shadows, to give the depth to each of these objects, because only then we can convert these 2D collages into a 3D image and make it look even more realistic. So for people who have seen my other videos, you would know how much importance I give to shadows. Shadows and reflections are a keen important point to elevate any kind of collage or sketch that we do. Also here I'm giving reflections on the refrigerator, on these glass elements using a white color. Some shadows to this coffee machine, some gloss, slightly light towards the left and dark towards the right. because we are imagining a light source to be towards the left side. Very slight shadows. Look at the major difference as soon as we start giving the shadows, you guys. So after this, it's time for us to give the final touch-ups. And again, this is also optional. It all lies in your creative skills, because we can stop the sketch soon after we give the shadows, but then again, like while giving these touch-ups, we can convert any realistic looking image into a sketchy effect. So for example, here for this oven, you can see how much it has drastically changed as soon as I started giving the white outlines. It looks even more sketchy, so it looks like as if we have put in more effort, and it might be very difficult for someone to differentiate if a sketch is realistic or if it is sketchy. So we want that kind of effect. So just give another extra 5 or 10 minutes to give these final touch-ups. So to get these straight lines, make sure to have your drawing assist option on. And now here I'm just giving the outlines for these curved objects as well. What do you think, guys? Doesn't it change the appearance of this image drastically when we start giving these outlines? Comment down below what do you think about this process, and is this step important? How can we forget about this high stool? So this is right in front of our sketch, so let's make sure to outline this as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline only one high stool. So make sure that you do this in a different layer. Duplicate that layer and move it onto the next object like this. And after that, just apply some shadows. And also I'm going to apply some shadows beneath these chairs as well, beneath this oven, on the counter. I'm just going to give a slight reflection, so I'm going to use this white flat brush pen and some shadows over it. I'm going to use this light pen and a subtle yellow color under these upper cabinets. There you go. And using the light brush pen with not too much pressure, just slightly brush over this dado tile. And I'm going to use this glimmer brush just for this subtle magical effect. And here again, using the flat brush pen on this wooden slat layer and with the drawing assist option on, slightly elevating these wooden slats so that it looks even more sketchy, just using different tones of brown to elevate this sketchy effect. And again using this technical pen, and on this flooring layer I'm just highlighting these marble lines. So I'm using the colors white and also a golden yellow color. And using the soft brush pen and a black color, just slightly brushing over these lines to elevate it. So here you can see how much difference it makes. So right now the whole sketch looks like as if we have sketched each and everything. So I'm repeating the same process even for this white marble counter. So what do you think about this sketching process, you guys? So students or designers who are very much in a hurry to give a presentation the next day, then it becomes very useful, this process, because it is very time efficient. And yeah, I think you can get even more creative with this process according to your own style. I recommend you guys to create a different sketch, a different design using the same process, and let me know how it came out under the comment section down below. And if you want any other tutorial or any other sketch of a different space, then please let me know and I will come up with a tutorial in my next video. And also for people who haven't subscribed to my channel but are still watching this video, please make sure to subscribe, and only then I will be motivated to give the best for you guys. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Until then, always keep smiling because it reduces a lot of stress. Bye.